Is that working? It isn't. Why isn't it loading? Software should be. There we go. Hello, morphemes, phonemes, and graphemes. No idea why it forced you onto the wrong video. I don't know how to answer that one. My computer screen is down so I can listen to my music. Okay, and then let us start. Uh, Let us start, as usual, with Wordle. It wasn't even content, it was an ad. Oh. Wait, you got put onto another YouTube video that was an ad? Did you accidentally click an ad on the stream? God damn it, there we go. I think the first what I was gonna do was exams. Let me check what. Yes, exams. Uh, hmm. A store? That's not a word. Ashy wouldn't work. It was an ad that was a video of a separate channel. That's concerning. Saved. Nope. Oh, that's. I only did 6 letters. It probably starts. I'm assuming it starts with a vowel or something. Nope, can't be Casa. Um. It could be lasso, but I'm hesitant to use. No, it can't be lasso because there's an A there. Not. Nope, that's not how you spell nozzle. Um. Oh, God. Uh. Can't end with an S. So it's probably something along the lines of consonant, vowel, S, vowel. Plaza. That's how you spell plaza. No, not plead. Huh. S. I'm assuming Oscar wouldn't be accepted. It is accepted. Okay. This does not help. An S. So it probably starts with a vowel. Is not Islam because the M's already gone. Aspen? Nope. No, there's an A there. Okay. No, not can't be something like isgat. Is there a word? It's the you, okay, Cade was telling me I hate this word. I'd hate this word as well. Ish. What? Okay, let me just do a. No. Yeah, let me try getting more letters. God damn. What? What word could this? I'm assuming it starts with like an A or something in this case, because I can't think of any words that start with a U that would. The fuck does the say mean? Okay. Complete and utter guess, cause say I recognized the word, I just never. That would explain why my sister got it in 3. Okay, connections. That was. Hi, Lex. That was hard. Uh, uh, monorail direct dioxide. No, that's tetra. So that's triangle. There we go. Starting with Greek numerical prefixes. Is my thing not. My mouse isn't changing form. What the hell? Usually my mouse will change form. What the hell? I guess I don't need to worry about that, but that's it. Also, uh, judicial letter. I can't think of the word in relation to whatchamacallit. Okay. Bulge, instrument, voila, guide, abut, organ, direct, grown, vehicle, medium. Well, I think of voila, I think of like showing something. Is there another meaning of voila? Voila? This doesn't come from like the low. There it is. Yeah, notice how my. What the hell? My mouse doesn't change form when it's on the screen, but when it's on my computer screen it does. That's interesting. Let's see if this fixes it. No, it does not. I don't know what the hell is going on there. Let me just fix that so it's updating again. Anyway, see, behold, medium, instrument, vehicle. So something you can do something with, or something you use to affect another person. I don't think organ. Direct? Okay, so let's keep medium, instrument, vehicle in mind, and then try to think of the other things that could happen. Coach could be training something, someone who trains or to train, but it could also be like the coach of a train. But train, coach, guide are all leading. Direct. Instruct. There we go. Second one down. What does abut mean? To touch by means of mutual border. To border upon. Yeah. Lean against. Okay, that I knew. Bulge is obviously swell against. An object which is sticking out from a surface, a swelling, protuberant part. The bilge or part of a cask, a round flashy mess such as on the camel or a Z-boom. The bilge of a vessel. The outline of male genitals to clothing, a sudden rise in value or quantity. To stick out from the surface without breaking it, to have a surface stretched by something pushing out, to bilge as a ship to founder. Medium, organ, instrument, vehicle. Let's just try that. Organ as means? The larger part of an organism, a body of an organization, a device, apparatus. It's an obsolete meaning. Anagrams of musical instruments. Of course. Why? Why am I shocked that it's something like that? Why am I shocked it's something like tuba, bugle, organ, and viola? Flashback. Source male crotch ball. Just hilarious. Uh, George Eastman wants an easier way to take vacation photos. He invents the first Kodak camera. The actress Faye Emerson debuts as one of the first late night TV talk show hosts. She takes a radical approach of combining comedy with politics. That's interesting because when you think of uh, late night talk show, you think of usually male comedians like Jon Stewart, Seth Meyers, Stephen Colbert, and whatnot. So the fact that one of the first late night TV talk show hosts was a woman, and then it eventually changed into men. I should look into that. France declares war on Britain. Britain moves troops from its U.S. colonies to defend the territory it cares about even more, the Caribbean. Yeah, it makes sense they care about the Caribbean more. Not much here up in the north. Musician writes a song about his friend's midnight plane to Houston. The lyrics evolve and becomes Gladys Knight's Midnight Train to Georgia. I don't recognize this song. But yep, I'm assuming because it's in color and not painted. To keep invaders out, competing Chinese states build barriers that later become the Great Wall that helps them focus on their real enemies, one another. Well, yes, but actually... Uh, when... Well, it was the Qin that started the Great Wall, right? Nope, not that movie. And it's not one continuous wall, but yeah, it's a bunch of different walls that are not visible from space. Okay, so it wasn't the Qin that started. Really, it seems like it was the Wei who started, and the Qin just also did it during the Warring States. Okay. 10,000 li long wall is fortifications in China. Da, da, da. The first walls today, these were joined together. They were built across the historical northern borders of ancient Chinese states and Imperial China as protection against various nomadic groups. Much good that did them from the Eurasian steppe. The first walls date to the 7th century, and they were joined together by the Qin. Yeah, so that's fascinating. I did not know that. The Mona Lisa is stolen. It isn't very popular, so no one actually notices until the next day. The theft is what makes the painting famous. 1800. No, 1911. I thought it was near the end of the 1800s. President Millard Fillmore sends U.S. gunboats to Japan, forcing it to open up for trade. Open the country. Stop having it be closed. I think this was after, well, Civil War. Nope, before Civil War. Okay. Open the... knock knock, it's the United States. Exactly. Okay, and then... moving on to the lingual. The Burmese... No, not Kulong. Burmese, yep, Hmong. And then the Langle. This is... Irish. I'd recognize that anywhere. I spent so long trying to figure out the orthographical rules for it. God, Irish spelling is a fucking mess. Especially the vowels. That is very true. I think what most people mean when they say that, though, is it's visible to the naked eye from space. Okay. Well, that was easy process of elimination. Uh, Haitian Creole, I think. No. Nutu imen nun ne den. Okitong? No. Norman French isn't an option. Oh God, what is it? It's definitely related to French because that's nous tu la liberté et l'égalité dans nos dignité et nous bon droit. What? Scott. Scottish Gaelic is definitely, I consider, a worse orthography because it's more historical than Irish. I can go on a whole rant about this. The worst one, though, is definitely Manx. Oh God, what's the? It's not. Is it Romansh? No. Okay, I'm assuming it's in, like, Africa. Please. Okay, I will rant in a minute. I just want to figure out what the hell this language is. Because I can tell you it's not French. And it seems to be quite far away from Europe. What's Seychelles Creole? I'm betting you it's a French Creole. Yep. It's on an island. Dependent subject, independent, and adnominal possess. Adnominal. Short forms are used when the verb is directly followed by a noun or when an adverb is present, and the long forms being used otherwise. So good to know it does not keep the liaison. Wait. L'avenir. Possessive is the same as the pronoun, so that our future is nous l'avenir. Fascinating. Yeah, that I was assuming it was a Creole as well. Okay, so to go on a mini rant about Irish orthography is that Irish orthography, Goidelic orthography in general, is Irish orthography. The main hard part isn't the consonants per se, as usually the consonants are pretty standard. The main part is with the vowels and some of the consonants after the vowels. Like if you see a B, it's gonna be pronounced "but" at the beginning of a word. But the problem with the vowels is that Old Irish had a 5 vowel system. Modern Irish doesn't really. Modern Irish seems to have more of a vowel height system, where you have a high vowel and a mid vowel that can change between front and back, and a low vowel. And so what that means, there's also this thing about like raising and lowering. Well, what that means is that you get a bunch of, what is it? Stuff like this. And so God, I'm not prepped for this this thing. Actually, where's freeform? I have freeform somewhere around here. Freeform. Continue. So where? No, I want to be able to draw. Where's the? Why can't I draw? Does it only let me draw if I have access to a pen? Oh, that's stupid. I want to draw with my mouse. Yeah, Krita? Yes, I don't actually... I've never really used Krita. I got it because I was trying to figure out how it worked for my sister, because I got her a drawing tablet. I wonder if how she's doing on that. Yeah, let's just use... Okay, why are you... It's flashing colors at me as I move my mouse. Like, oh, that's... Why is it like flashing colors at me? Try changing my color tone. Let me just grab Photoshop. Was it coming through on the video as well? That was weird. Now my secondary monitor is lagging. Oh, it is coming through on the... For me, it was huge. Like, a huge, flashing. Why is my... screen not cooperating? Okay, that seems to have... Nope, that did not fix it. But, okay, that'll just have to do. Okay, so, in Irish, there are two sets of consonants. There are... Actually, can I... How much charge does my tablet have? I almost forgot I had this thing. Yeah, not that much charge. Yikes. Okay, I'll have to do. I'll just have to charge it later. Okay. Now moving back onto Irish orthography. So you have two sets of consonants. You have broad consonants And it might should just be easier with the mouse. No, it's most definitely not easy with the mouse. You have broad consonants and you have slender consonants. So, b versus b. Kind of similar to in Irish. But the way these are represented in writing is via the vowels next to it. Why did my thing get so small? Anyway, is it vowels next to it? So that's bo, but if you write it b b I o, I think it's be something like bio. However, this is sometimes pronounced as e because what determines the quality of the vowel is the last slender consonant. I don't think you actually see bo as a word. You see b and we. It's been like a month since I've last did this. But really what determines the pronunciation of this letter is what the what the consonant after it is. So like this would be probably along the lines of big. What really gets the messes up though is that it has a bunch of historical conjugations that take their own special pronunciation. And it's like never actually. Yeah, see? O-I. Skell. It can be an O before certain things, but basically there is no such thing as front or back vowels. They're allophones of the mid and high vowels. And then you get special pronunciations with consonants. So like ABH is O or O. EADH, A, and so on and so forth. And these are all word specific and conjugation specific. So, yeah, and then there's more stuff to PNAF here. But all that can be learned. And all that is learned. The real problem is the dialect situation. I know I explained that all very badly. All the dialects are quite different from each other. So, like in Munster, they have more conjugations than in Galway, for instance. And instead of setting one dialect as the standard, they instead decided to make an artificial standard that would represent all dialects in writing. And well, that was a noble endeavor. Dialects can be quite different from each other to the point where you get a word like, let me just pull it up. Like, where is Irish? Like this, where it's spelled this way. It's spelled this way, and it seems like it's normal, but not a single dialect pronounces it like that. All dialects have different pronunciations for it that do not match its spelling. You even get a difference in the center consonant, whether it's broad or vowel in between the dialects. Fun fact, this is the dialect I'm going to be learning in Cork. Drafur. Such fun. But yeah, and so oftentimes they'll pull up more historical spelling for these words that are so different across dialects, as Sutton said earlier. Oh, they often do. If you're doing something that's like broader for the government, you use the standard. But for the most part, it seems like people use local phonetic spellings for their dialect. So in Cork, if I'm just like texting somebody, I probably would write it like this. No, they would probably write it like that. And then moving on to Scottish Gaelic, which is about as different from the other Irish dialects as they are to each other, but has a bit more of its own independent identity and a few more changes than most. Has an interesting orthography in the fact that I think it's still based on the 18th century orthography. Yeah. So it's still based on really old orthography. So, uh, which means it has a lot of silent letters. I think it's actually comparable to like English orthography from what I remember. The only issue is the mutations and the slenders. But for the most part, it's equivalent to uh, how English orthography is uh, archaic. I think it's also more conservative in certain pronunciations than Irish. But then, little rant going all the way up is the Manx. Um, why is my screen like dying on it just started lagging really bad where I typed out language but it did not appear. Let me try playing around with these. That doesn't seem to have fixed it. Color, aspect ratio, sharpness is 50, response time extreme, dark stabilizer, no smart HDR. I don't know what the hell is going on with my screen at this point in time. It's just kicking up a fuss. Anyway, the Manx language. The spelling is based off English orthography. So it's basically how an Irish person would think, English person would think words are pronounced. Like, I don't understand how this became a thing. If it works, it works. But it's creates some interesting parallels at times. Does ironically make it the most phonetic orthography for an Irish language there is, though. Oh, God. Do. Oh, it just looks so raw. Okay, why is... Like, what the hell is going on with my screen, though? I know I shouldn't focus on it. I have better things to do. Will that fix it? I doubt it. Oh, there was a flash of the hand coming up, but that did not fix it. Yeah, life's funny that way. God damn, that's annoying me so badly. Okay, either way, I'm going to spend a bit working on the Japanese project. And but then that'll, I mean, the stream technically won't end, but it is very annoying. Okay, you know what? I don't have anything over there. Let me just close that. One sec, the stream will start again in a second. Okay. We should be live again. I was originally planning on doing that after the stream, but then my screen went black, so I figured no better time than now. Don't go. Stop going over there, thank you. Okay, yes, I am back. YouTube, let me reopen Studio. Create, go live. Manage office hours. Yeah, my external monitor quite literally went black for a second. So I figured maybe it'd be good to do it sooner rather than later. But it seems to have fixed it. It seems to have fixed it. Oh god. I don't understand computers sometimes, and they just break. Questionable audio? Is it not? Is that better? It is my... Okay, let's see. Let me pull up MIDI so I can get some throughput. It sounds fine to me. Uh, uh, is it coming through for you guys? Well, we'll really know when Kat makes a comment. Oh, what was the quick switch again? It was click read. Oh, what was the quick switch again? The keyboard shortcut for hotkeys. Where? That's all the minimal settings. Current view. Toggle view. Yeah, I set it to Command E. There we go. Okay. So where we last left off with this, we finished the basic verbal sentences and the more particles, which goes over the basic particles and whatnot. And then de has an instrumental, and then the copula. Did some of the copula on my own. The copula in Japanese is da, which is appended to the predicate of the sentence. When used in the past tense, it becomes datta. In terms of pitch accent, da functions similar to other particles, while datta has a consistent downstep on the first syllable when appearing at the end of an utterance. Da is frequently dropped. Let me pull up dictionaries too. Go NHK Meishi. Does it also show datta or just da? Why isn't my horizontal... Huh. This app does not support horizontal scroll, apparently. Oh, no, it does. Why wasn't it? Why is everything breaking on me? Now it's not vertically scrolling. There we go. And now it's not horizontally scrolling. I don't understand. Okay, I'm just gonna use the trackpad up here. Da. Yeah, consistently da. Satin, why? So sensei da. Sensei da. Oh, that's... That's meant to be a he. So sensei datta. The forms above are most common in writing and in speech. But there are two more forms to keep in mind. Dearu and deatta. Da and datta above are contractions of these older forms that are constructed from the particle de and the verb aru. These forms are more formal and generally only appear in certain styles of writing and certain grammatical constructions. Which you'll see this all the time in certain titles and whatnot, and in academic papers from what I remember. I mentioned the contrastive function, right? Yes. Because of its origin as a particle plus verb phrase. When wanting to modify the predicate with another particle such as mo, such as mo, the de aru form is used instead. Span class JP span demo. I think only one sentence is needed there. They are also a teacher. I think as well would work better. They are a teacher as well. So I think I want to expand it. Gakuseda. They are a student. They are a teacher as well. Yeah, that works. I think that's good. I just want to pull up Japanese particle stacking. Oh, that's useful. Omo, owa. Yeah. When used to quote something, any particle can be used directly before it. In terms of particles that are not part of the quote itself, to is generally used for other particles. That makes sense. Okay, but I think that is good for that. And then just looking at my, god damn it, Google Drive, languages, Japanese final. The no des じゃないのと verbs ますか I think I want to also do adjectives. I think I have some adjectives here. 作業動詞 There are pronouns. Yes, okay, there are adjectives. I'm going to want to add more adjectives, but did cat leave us or something? Cat. That's Kate. That's still Kate I'm messaging. Okay, so after the copula, I think it's only fair to then do adjectives. In Japanese, there are two types of adjectives. True adjectives that act similarly to verbs, called span, class, JP, Yoshi, span, or E adjectives. And nominal adjectives that act similarly to nouns, called span class equals JP Heiyodoshi span or not adjectives. Okay. So I think I'm just going to start with not adjectives. Not adjectives. Adjectives functions similarly to nouns, especially when used in the predicate. Just like nouns, they take the copula da. What was the notch? I have ski. Ski now. So an example sentence I could use. I don't need the pronunciation class there. I need to get rid of that. Is sensei wa genki da. How did I do it for particles? Okay. Oh. One sec. Discord isn't being picked up for some reason. Okay, now they can probably hear you.
Yo, what's up? It's my favorite YouTuber, Schwar the Schwar Schwar.
Schwa the schwa schwa
And
schwa?
Plate the Pan Plate. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
How's Japanese?
Started it a bit later than I liked because I had to go on a rant about Irish.
Ah, okay. Interesting.
It was vital that I did the rant on Irish.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Next Master CZ says, hello, voice coming from the wall. I'll have you know, I'm not coming from the wall. I'm coming from your mom.
You're doing what to their mom?
I just happen to be in the same location as their mom, and so my voice is coming from that location. I don't see what kind of interpretations you could have
Mm.
from that statement.
All I heard was come from. Or come, I mean. I didn't hear the from. Isn't that supposed to be the other way around? Sensei wa... I always forget non-adjectives for some reason. Give me a sec and then we can work on Kuseigi. Shizuka. Heya wa... Shizuka datta. The room was quiet.
The room was quiet.
I want a way to single out the noun being modified by the particle. Because this is a different word from data, but because there's no spaces, it looks like it's just one unit. I'll figure that out later.
Does Kuthegi have spaces?
Kuseigi will have spaces.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I'm not going to be that mean to myself and to Babalingua.
Hilon
But she's kind of quiet?
Isa. Am I quiet?
Kind
I
of?
don't sound that quiet to me.
Not all that quiet. I just toned you up a bit.
I guess I sound quiet compared to you. I just had to unmute the stream and see.
That's fair.
Turn me up to maximum. I'll use this privilege responsibly.
No. I'm sorry, but no. Okay. So, since the last time, anyways, we started we can now make sentences in Kutheiji. We can make casual sentences in Kutheiji. And casual
and
respectful.
Some derogatory sentences.
And casual humble. But they're not really derogatory, because it's not like, it can be rude, but it also would be polite to use it in certain situations.
We need a better word
We need
derogatory.
a better word than derogatory.
We need to make Babel come up with it. Force Babel to do the work for us.
No idea. Maybe we could do it something along the lines of because polite also doesn't quite get the meaning behind it.
Yeah. Polite down.
Polite down.
Because you're talking down.
Also can't do respectful instead of polite. It's the concept of it is really hard to think of a word for. Yeah, I'm gonna ignore that for a second, and instead, we should think about discuss how names work real quick, or at least my idea for them. So I was thinking that, especially for older names, it is very heavily dependent on roots or root combinations of a sort.
Names or
Names.
last names? Names?
Names. Last names we'll discuss in a second, but names.
Okay.
So, like, if you come over to Mejil, let's get rid of the which that's a verbal root, so actually that might require a secondary, but if it might be a nominal stem because it's a name, but it's a combination of roots. So if we come over here to Mejil, you can see that it's a combination of holy and reading.
Well, actually, speaking of, you know how I'm gonna be making a new character for next session, or I will.
Oh, I did not know that.
My character ran away. She doesn't care to save you guys.
Of course.
And so my next character is going to be a Royal Guard member. Not one of the incompetent ones. We're gonna be saying that those guys were new hires and they underestimated you guys.
Oh my god.
that
That whole situation.
But yeah, my new character is gonna be a Dragonborn fighter with the name Kathravi.
The name of what?
Kathravi.
Kathravi. Is this
Yeah.
based in a language of yours or just a name?
No, I didn't come up with a proper language. Or I didn't like come up with. I used a random name generator to find this, and then I added an E to the end.
Because we could easily make that in our language, actually.
Yeah, that's part of why I picked it because it sounded good and also could fit in the language. So I was thinking we could just make this a word in the language.
Yeah, it could be one of the newer
Or name in
words,
the
because
language.
I was thinking of having 2 stages of names. One of them being the older names are combinations of roots and whatnot. Still practiced, especially among the nobility, but it's an archaic form of giving names. So Mejil, the name of the big bad, which I think we didn't even really learn last time. It was mentioned, but not really in game.
Yeah.
Oh god.
I do think Kathravi would have like an older, more noble leaning name because well, she's a Dragonborn, and I talked with Babel, and we decided to have Dragonborn age range be the same as dwarves rather than what they are in the basic rules. In the basic rules, their age range is 80 years.
The problem there is it has a most names I'd assume would end with the human suffix l.
Fair.
And that
it could be like Kathravel.
Or it could be, instead of like a name, it could be a title. Like Dragonborns and whatnot don't really take names, but take titles or something along those lines. Maybe. Or it could just be a title. Travel. I don't mind travel.
Travel.
It could be a thematic route.
That would work.
Travel.
Kathravel.
Actually, yeah, no, if it's thematic, we can have the stress on either of the first schwas.
When I've been saying it, I was thinking the stress would fall on the ra.
Yeah.
Kathravel.
Kathravel. Kathravel. So, how do we want to... So, we want this to be an archaic-ish name, so it'd be a combination of Kath and Rav. Well, it could be a combination. No, Keth and Rev.
Rev.
Rave.
Rave.
Thematic. This is thematic. This is could be athematic. Rav.
It's interesting. Keth is close to Kith.
Do you want to change this to Kethravel? Do you want to keep it Kathravel?
I want to keep it Kathrava.
Okay. Just trying to think about how, because we have it turning into a schwa when the stress moves back off of the thing. I'm just trying to think about how to make that work within the language. What description does your Dragonborn have? Like, have you figured out like what they look like at all yet?
Yeah, they're gonna be a blue dragonborn, and actually, I made what she's gonna look like in Baldur's Gate 3. Because
Of course.
what else am I gonna do with my free time in the
He's
morning?
stealing my ideas. So maybe we could have it be Keth is the word for. We need to figure out the color system as well. Blue, pale, and then Rave is tooth.
Here you go. Here's a peek at her.
God damn, that is. I was thinking more blue like my character, but that is. God damn.
Yeah, that's just one of the blue presets with a little pink.
So maybe not
Yeah.
blue pale, but
More like blue
it could be
water
ocean.
or something. Oh yeah.
Ocean dark blue. So Keth and Rave. And together they become Kethrav.
I'm so excited to be playing a bootlicker character, dude.
A bootlicker?
I'm gonna be a really loyal moral guard.
You're gonna be like Addy.
No, I'm gonna be worse or better.
Jesus
Because
Christ.
I'm literally just gonna be there to make sure you guys don't try to run away.
Keth. Rav. Ocean. Related to ocean. Blue. Related to.
Fun fact: the blue dragon does have lightning power, so
Nice. Rev.
that's fun. I considered making a character that was explicitly immune to sleep. Like just figuring out how to make one that was immune to sleep and then just making one that was immune to sleep. Just to combat against the prolific sleep spell usages by Adatopian.
He's gonna love that.
But I decided that this guy will be able to be put to sleep.
No, Addy needs to be humbled. Sorry, what were you gonna say?
One thing I'm gonna do with my character is my character will know common sign language, but my plan is to just make her give no hint of the fact that she knows it.
Why?
So that she can listen in on your conversations.
Oh my god. That's fair. So I feel like a lot of people understand the sign. I think my character will have the assumption that most people understand it. Especially in the fighting profession. Yes, it is D&D.
Immune to sleep is funny. Well, it's immune to being put to sleep, so like you can't like use, I don't know, what's a real life equivalent of putting someone to
Okay,
sleep?
maybe this is. I'm wondering if there could be if a thematic root is placed before a thematic root, then with a schwa in it, the schwa can backspread.
Hmm,
Um,
that'd be good.
I'm
Catrava.
trying to think about how to indicate that and where to indicate that. Repair strategies? And also, thematic roots and thematic roots do not undergo stress shifting, I think. I think they're resistant to stress shifting. I mean, yes, mallet to the head. That is exactly how it
Mallet
works.
to the head. I guess that is a good like real life equivalent of putting someone to sleep. Or like chloroform.
That's also true. Um,
I guess this guy's just immune to chloroform.
and then last names are not really common, but they do exist, and it's usually based off of.
Okay, but hold on. What would draconic culture of last names be? Because I feel like family lines would be very important
That is
to
true.
dragons.
That is
And like,
true. Would
um,
are you gonna have a draconic language, or do you think or is your guy a local of the area and their family lived there for a while?
I imagine there is a draconic language. I wouldn't do much with it though.
But the person, their background, are they like has a family been here for a while in the port city to the point where they might not speak it, or
Hmm.
would they be recent arrivals? Would you say?
Um, I'd imagine that their family was here for maybe one generation.
Okay, so they might still keep some of the draconic culture.
Yeah, I imagine they would keep the dragon culture.
In which case, they might have their own things. Unless you want to make a draconic language, I think you can just do whatever the hell you want for the surname.
Okay. I just won't specify the surname for now, but I might make a draconic language. I think that could be
Yeah,
fun.
I mean, we could think of a surname in that you can use to like base draconic off of, and then we can have a common port of it. Not port, a common like how people in common would pronounce it.
Hmm.
So like if it had a sh sound, we could have that sh become h or s instead.
I'm looking at the list of names that draconic has, like in the D&D handbook.
Um, Grishval.
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 Which what's our uh? Can we have gr? We cannot have gr as a sound. So in it would probably be something
I
gri
like Grishval.
grish 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 gri. How would shval be turned into our language? Because val is a pronunciation, but not sh. Garisval. Garisval.
Grishval.
Part of the problem as
Grishval.
well is the s combination would be sb, wouldn't it?
It would. Grisbal.
Grisbal.
Um, do you think instead of sh, it would become a ch?
Oh, that's Garis. Garich.
Grichval.
Garichval. Garich.
Grich, Grichval.
Garichval. Garichval.
Grichval.
Garich.
Gichval.
Garichval.
Grichval.
Garichval.
Grichval. Or maybe instead of nah, yeah, actually it would become the
Yeah,
wouldn't it?
and then maybe
Grich
that actually becomes Garikval. Because I think I was thinking of having.
Grichval.
Did we have partition of? I think I had partition of Fatha before other affricates. No, wait. We had partition after other affricates. But that's a stop.
Yeah. Fricatives.
Yeah, fricatives. So it'd probably be Garichbal.
Grichval.
Maybe
Okay.
maybe there's something here that Garichbal sounds ever so slightly like a euphemism to something that he emphasizes the val. Garichval.
Hmm.
The word means suck up or something. Oh, one sec. That was my grandfather calling to see when we can go shopping.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, Garichbal. Did we have something going on with a voiceless fricative followed by a voice stop, or do we just want to have that? I think I was actually thinking of having them both voiced, wasn't I? Garichval.
That would make sense. Grichval.
Yeah, I think in that case they would both be voiced. Let me do that down here. Uh the Bathacha Bathacha and Baraga becomes. Wait, no, that's not how one would write that. Because it's a dual rule. Because both fa tha ch voice and then ba da ga affricate or fricative become fricatives. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to think about how to showcase both of that.
What have you done?
But then how would I showcase that is a fair point. I don't think I have a master thing for non-sibilant fricatives, though.
F minus minus syllabant.
Hmm? Plus fricative minus sibilant. Or a vowel. That's some funky notation right there. That is fair. I don't understand what's going on, and I have a undergraduate in linguistics.
That's scary.
What, that I'm technically classified as a linguist?
Yes.
It is.
And that you don't know what's going on.
I'm not a phonologist. Don't sue me. Okay. So I think that'll work for now. It'll probably give someone like uh oh god, what's his face? Eternal a heart attack to see that. But that'll have to do. Uh so and then Grishval, that gives you some stuff to work with your language.
Yeah.
And I'm still trying to think about how last names work. And if we're going off the assumption that it's the so it's mostly only nobles really have last names, but they're more hereditary titles than anything else.
Yeah.
And for people, last names are kind of being taken from their occupation. So, like the people who work at um, Michael's company, Michiel's company, they will take Michiel as a last name with some sort of modification.
Michielsen.
I was thinking of
Michelson.
son becoming grammaticalized, but I'm wondering if we could have it instead. The last name is placed into the locative or something. So, say there was a guy by the name of, I don't know, Dedekith.
Dedekith.
Peaceful words. Derekithel. Or
Peaceful words.
this would turn into kiel, wouldn't it? The will erode away. Um. Yeah, that would become Derekil. Peaceful words. And he would just be called Derekil. But then his full name might become something like um if he works for Michael's company, Mechil Mechul Mechulul Mechulul. Mechulul. With like the locative of saying Derekil of Michael's or and Michael from Michael.
In.
Oh, shut up. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Or maybe it would be possessed.
But
Hillel.
the possessed would be the person is being possessed.
Right, you're right. Yeah.
Actually, that might be interesting. The last name is placed in is the thing that takes the inflection. So maybe it's instead of last names, it's Mechil Dere Kinal. Keenal. Would you think it'd be Keithnal or Keenal?
Ethnal? No, it'd be Keithnal.
Keithnal.
'Cause-
Oh, because of Fortition.
Yeah.
So it'd be something like that. Null. Well, the possessed comes after the possessor, and this is really.
Huh.
What do you think of that? The first name is the thing that's modified.
I like that.
You
I
like
like
that?
that.
Because it.
Imagine going to a mega corporation and be like, you have to change your last name to work here.
But okay, we have that then, and then maybe that's for commoners, and then nobility. Uh, Dolores is of the cliffs, right? Like she's the ruler of the cliff area.
I think so.
Dolores. So maybe for nobility, it's the the owner of an area. It's the other way around. It's like Dolores is ruled over the cliffs. So, uh, Caliph. It's a place. Oh God, where would places? What class would places be in? Would they be in inanimate?
Um, yeah.
Caliph and Dolores Khalifen. So it'd be I'm not sure how much that actually makes sense. But just thinking about they're the ruler of the place. They own the place. The place can't really own them. So maybe it just kind of swaps. Or maybe this is where my original idea of the locative comes in.
Um. Oh yeah.
You've gone very silent.
I'm trying to come up with a phonology for draconic.
No, Cat also went to take a shower. That's why I'm not watching.
Simultaneous shower.
Simultaneous shower, apparently.
Yeah,
I don't know why, but it
apparently.
popped in my head. Maybe I'll shower while live streaming, and I was like, wait, no, what the fuck? Can I be a booter?
Just bring your computer into the shower, dude.
Ugh. I don't think anyone would want that. And if they did, I would charge. Um. Yeah, in which case, your name, when it's fully written out, wouldn't be Cathravel, but would be something along the lines of Cathraven. No, Cathravenel.
Cathravenel.
And that'd be your full name. This would be your normal name. That would be your full name. Get that shit on OnlyFans. Uh,
Only Langs. When's Only Langs coming out, dude?
is there a thing in production called Only Lings?
No.
Sounds like an April Fool skit there. Dolores. See, Dolores wouldn't really work. It would have to, unless they were like the plural or something, multiple Doloreses. It'd be Dolorsa.
Dolorsa is close.
Yeah. Made from the root dol and or with a glottal stop.
Hi, Cat Mistberg. How's my favorite shitty mountain?
Welcome back, Cat. You're back for nearly ending the stream, as I can't think of. I mean, obviously, we need to record these names of the rules down somewhere. I'm just can't imagine where. Which I guess this corner over here is good enough. I'll just dedicate this corner to names. So, archaic traditional naming combines two roots or stems together. And then examples of this would be mek plus hil equaling mechil.
Ugh. If only there was more space in this sheet and someone didn't delete several columns.
Fuck off. And then your name is an old name, apparently. Keth plus Ravel. Rave.
I mean, in defense of it being an old name, my character was probably named about 100 years prior to the story.
That is fair.
Which, how would such longer lifespans affect
A language.
a language and evolution?
I don't know. I mean, you'd assume they talk in an old style, and I think that's fair to an extent. But, like, think of your grandparents. They probably talked very differently in their youth than we do today.
Yeah.
And they themselves probably have changed their vocabulary and language and whatnot over time as they go along. So I'm assuming you'd still talk archaically, but you'd still pick up some of the trends that go on amongst the younger people as language changes. It's just that overall language would change slower over time, especially as there are more populace of these long-lived races.
Yeah.
Is like my thinking of it.
Should Draconic have dental sounds?
It should have retroflex for common
I
names,
don't want
but for
retroflex.
common people, the
Should it
last
have
name, their surname comes from their place of comes from their occupation. So their occupation. The full name is the occupation plus given name in the list. What were you gonna say?
I was gonna ask, should Draconic have uvular sounds?
Yes.
How many?
All.
Not all.
Who just sent a message and what is it?
Kat just said, I'd guess that the amount of language change in a time period is roughly proportional to the number of generations in the time period.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
Company plus name equals, yeah, that looks about good. Would names be under content words? I feel like we should
Um,
record some of these.
I think we should put them under, like, have our own, like, a separate chart as well, just for names.
Okay.
Call it, like, lore words, I guess, or something. Names. Lore. Names and lore.
Shut up. Okay, so we have Mechil. We have McQueel, who I'm assuming will drop the L and say it McQuee as if they're a god.
McQuee.
McQuee.
Oh, I imagine he would do something like that, wouldn't he?
He definitely would. We're talking about Babel, by the way. Dolorsa. 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 And then Cathravel. Cathravel. I should probably figure out how these people would pronounce my name. Tirhin. Probably not well.
Yeah, probably not.
Uh,
Yes, Babalingua. Good job, Cat Misper. You get guess of the year.
Whoops. Not sure how Babel will feel about that. Okay, so this, we can get rid of that. We can get rid of that. Did I ever do something with the on? No, I don't think I did yet. I'm gonna keep that because I think I might throw that into the politeness system. And I'm thinking of Califevus. Having Caliph be the word for cliff would be pretty funny. But we should probably change that.
That's the ultimate Chad move, though.
Keeping it as cliffs.
Yeah.
Derekil.
Tower of Babel-chan?
Ah! I don't know why, but I do not like that.
Scary. Scary. Hmm. What are some symbols I
Okay,
can
I think
use? Um,
Dolores of Cliffs. Dolorsa Califevus. That's that. I just realized that sounds a lot like Caliph, like the Caliphate.
it does. You know what? You know what? Only a voiced dental fricative.
Only of the in Draconic.
Yeah. And it's gonna contrast with the fact that there's only a voiceless alveolar fricative.
Are you gonna want help with Draconic, or are you gonna do that all yourself?
Um, I wouldn't mind help. I'm still trying to plan it out.
Okay.
Here, I'll share with you the page.
But
What was your email?
it is that. But I think it is coming up to 4 o'clock, and I have stuff to do, IRL. So I think with that, I'm going to end the stream here, and we will be back tomorrow on the second channel. But until then,
Yeah,
I
for
bid
Minecraft.
for Minecraft Hardcore, and I have the Java mod pack all set up in case we die.
Yes.
Because fuck Bedrock. But until then, I bid you all adieu.
Do you want to